Prince Harry, once the golden boy of the British monarchy, found himself awkwardly adrift in the hallowed halls of European royalty. The scene: a World Health Organization dinner honoring survivors of childhood violence in New York City. The glaring absence: his wife, Meghan Markle, caught in the crossfire of a royal hierarchy that seemed to have forgotten him. Harry, desperate for a connection, attempted to bridge the gap with Queen Matilda of Belgium. He reached out for a hug, a gesture that felt so natural in his California life. But in the formal world of European royalty, it was an epic misstep. The Queen, with a practiced grace, gently deflected his embrace, her hand resting firmly on his shoulder, a silent but clear message: this is not how we do things here. The photographs captured the awkward moment with chilling clarity. Harry, a shadow in the background, his attempts to engage with other dignitaries met with polite distance, looked more like a confused security guard lost at a gala than a prince. His body language screamed desperation, a silent plea for recognition, for a place in a world that seemed to have moved on without him. It was a scene of poignant irony. The prince who had once basked in the limelight of royal life now stood on the periphery, his attempts at re-entry met with a royal cold shoulder. Was he trying to recapture a past that no longer existed? Or was he grasping at the ghost of a connection that had faded with his departure? The event, meant to honor survivors of childhood violence, became a stage for Harry's own personal drama. He was a prince out of place, yearning for a connection that seemed forever out of reach. His disheveled attire, a stark contrast to the elegant attire of the other dignitaries, highlighted his emotional state. Did he believe that a casual approach would win over the Queen? Or was he simply lost in the labyrinth of protocol? Queen Matilda devoted many years to her royal duties with grace and confidence, leaving a lasting impression on Harry. Struggling in the wake of royalty, picture Meghan being there wearing a fancy gown that she borrowed, in the spotlight, causing Harry to resemble an extra in a royal drama even more. But let's focus on Duke. Did he truly stand out? It's a bit unrealistic to think that every royal would welcome him with open arms. Don't you agree? Before engaging in hugging behavior, one should take into account cultural differences, as many Europeans are not as physically affectionate as others. Harry and Meghan are a famous couple who have been in the spotlight for many years. They have captured the hearts of people around the world with their love story and charitable work. The most entertaining and heartbreaking aspect of the evening was Harry's body language. He clung to the Queen, desperate for validation, his facial expressions a mixture of confusion and desperation. He was the forgotten prince, desperately seeking a place, a purpose, in a world that no longer seemed to want him. His attendance at the dinner, a desperate attempt to rekindle his royal connections, turned into a cringe fest of epic proportions. The awkward hugs, the bewildered expressions, all served as a painful reminder that in the world of royalty, there is no guarantee of a happy ending, especially for the prince who chose to walk away. This was a tale of a prince lost in his own narrative, a man struggling to reconcile his past with his present, a desperate attempt to re-enter a world that had seemingly moved on without him. And as the cameras flashed and the champagne flowed, one couldn't help but wonder, what was the real cost of choosing freedom? And was it worth the price of being forever lost?